I have some assets, and to be able to maximize the capacity of those assets to create and compound, that concept of generational wealth now is becoming real. And, short of hitting the lottery, I didn't know that I could ever get there otherwise. And I feel comfortable and confident now that that can be created.
Can you tell us a little bit about your background and what you do for a living?
I've been in the personal development space for a long time. Started with Tony Robbins back in the mid 80s for about 6 years. I then moved on and helped launch a real estate investment company called Home Investors of America. And the brand is We Buy Ugly Houses. So I had have a lot of experience in the real estate investment space, buying, fixing, selling houses, and did that for about 20 years with that company. And then as an independent contractor, as a consultant and entrepreneur with them. But ever since the mid 80s, I've been involved heavily in personal development, spiritual development.
What made you want to get into decentralized finance specifically?
It probably is something that I'm most passionate about in my life. And it started back in, I think it was 2000 or 1999, before decentralized finance existed. I read a book called The Creature from Jekyll Island that was about the creation of the Federal Reserve banking system, and basically a fraudulent monetary system that we have in the United States and now pretty much around the world. And I knew it was off, and I didn't know what to do about it. So I was looking for ways ever since then to kind of exit the system, but there really wasn't. So, I did some things with precious metals, things like that, to protect myself from a currency that was going to ultimately lose value and someday crash. So, when learned about cryptocurrency in 2018, 2019, and really started to look at it, that's when I started I think I made my first small Bitcoin purchase. And then recently, when I started to understand, the thing that caught me was be your own bank. That had massive appeal to me.
What made you feel comfortable entering into a partnership with Decentralized Masters?
Well, a few things. One, I had actually done some training, light training with a company that started to talk about liquidity pools, but it was very surface level, and I wanted more depth. And when I basically scheduled a call and started to look at what was possible and what was available in the curriculum, and then looked at the testimonials from people who basically raved about the patience and the teaching and the understanding and willingness to take people who really had no information all the way to where they became experts. And I knew I was starting somewhere in the middle, nowhere near an expert, but I had some knowledge of crypto and had been involved. I was just clear that there was a lot more available than what I was seeing, especially in the decentralized finance space. So when I got involved and looked at what was there, it was like pulling back a curtain on something that I may have never seen otherwise. I'm grateful that I took the leap.
How has Decentralized Masters delivered on the promises that were made to you initially?
The support was exceptional. The amount of available office hours with the mentors is incredible. There's as much to consume as you could possibly want, and as many opportunities to interact with people that are experts in the area. That for me was pretty profound. The other program that I was a part of, there was a call once a month for an hour, and the space is just too big, and there's too much information and opportunity available, and that's what I was really looking for, and that's what's been made available here.
What are your thoughts on decentralized finance as an investment vehicle for the future?
There's this concept of creating generational wealth, and quite honestly, I couldn't see a way to get there without really taxing myself physically, working 18 hours a day, really hard, and getting really lucky too with what I was doing. And I have some assets, and to be able to maximize the capacity of those assets to create and compound, that concept of generational wealth now is becoming real. And short of hitting the lottery, I didn't know that I could ever get there otherwise. And I feel comfortable and confident now that that can be created.
How has Decentralized Masters impacted your ability to sift through the noise and differing opinions in the crypto space?
Yeah, I think it's really powerful to be in a mastermind, a group of people who this is their focus. This is what they're up to. The analysts do incredible work that they share. Again, the mastermind to get in and be in conversation with people that are like-minded and really wanting to learn and bring value to the whole group is incredible. Yeah, I just feel like it almost for me felt like coming home. Like this is the place I needed to be. Given, my experience 24, almost 25 years ago, what I was searching for. And now it's shown up in my life.
Would you say your investment into Decentralized Masters has been worth it from a monetary perspective?
Yeah, absolutely. Not only from the opportunity to earn significant yield in a very well thought out, designed plan, but there in this space, there's so many opportunities to lose money because of mistakes, because of things that you don't know. It's a little scary. And the again, the hands-on, close mentoring and the detailed education greatly minimizes. I'm not going to say to zero because there's always risk in any investment, but it greatly diminishes the possibility of making a mistake. And I've dealt with and know people in the work I do in the personal development space who, in an effort to create the generational wealth or to get ahead fast, have gotten sucked into things that have cost them whole retirement savings just because they didn't go to the right place, didn't have the right information. So yeah, the information that's available and the care that's delivered is well worth the investment. And this is from somebody who knew a decent amount about the crypto space and that world, but I would have absolutely, looking back, I shouldn't have had so much concern because it's well worth it.
Would you recommend Decentralized Masters to someone who's thinking about joining?
Absolutely. If you're in the conversation, if you're awake enough to be exploring this, then absolutely you should do it. I just feel if you're in the conversation of cryptocurrency and decentralized finance, and you're even thinking about it and in the conversation, I would absolutely urge you, if you're going to go in any direction here, to do it with Decentralized Masters. I think, like, as I said, it's the premier place to gain knowledge and insight and information that can change your life financially.